Tonight, the I-Team has free parking. It's something that Chicago officials say should not exist on central city streets. But tonight, there are questions about why some people have managed to skirt high parking fees. Investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy here with details. Chuck.
Rob, if you've ever driven around Chicago looking for a street spot, you know there's no such thing as free parking. Chances are you've seen personal vehicles with an official-looking neon vest hanging from a window or draped on the dashboard, parked in prime spots. For more than a year, the I-Team has been watching and investigating whether those vests act as an unofficial pass, signaling ticket writers to look the other way. Whether it's luck or aggression, scoring street parking in Chicago is a victory for many drivers, even with the hefty price tag. And then there is this window dressing, what can sometimes be a free parking pass.
Who gets special permission to do that? And apparently a lot of people do, because you see a lot of those.
I'm assuming they give them a break, that's why they hang them there.
People understand that there's a way to game the system, and the safety vest trick could be a good way to do it.
Mike Brockway runs the Expired Meter website, where frustrated Chicago motorists vent.
And if somebody, a ticket writer on behalf of the city comes by and sees the vest, they'll pass them up.
Critics call it Chicago's professional courtesy given to city workers and construction crews, or possibly anyone with a safety vest looking for a deal on parking their personal car.
It's just not fair.
During the past year, the I-Team roamed city streets documenting this parking practice.
Not fair, for sure not fair, but you know, I'm a little tiny person.
Many vests are nondescript. Some had company logos, and others appeared to be from public agencies. They were displayed in no parking zones, metered spots, and areas requiring residential parking stickers. Around building zones, city officials say they do arrange special parking permits for construction companies.
If you hang it on, they know whose it is. It's not a normal Joe just parking.
But according to this city application, those permits are for operating equipment and park work vehicles. Although not spelled out in the paperwork, city officials say some construction companies may allow workers to park personal vehicles in these spaces and display vests in their windows. City Hall declined to provide anyone on camera, but in a statement, officials claim construction companies will reimburse the city for lost parking revenue.
Enforcement has to be on top of the game in terms of making sure no one is throwing a vest and then trying to get away with it.
Parking enforcement aides would not weigh in, telling us they aren't allowed to talk to media. Ultimately, it's up to them to decide who gets a pass or gets a ticket.
Isolated instances of someone trying to abuse the system are going to happen.
According to the city, parking enforcement aides will be reminded to enforce any vehicle in violation regardless of a displayed vest. And within a couple days of our inquiry, we noticed more violations on vehicles with vests.
I don't know if it usually works or not, but I usually just try it.
This construction worker says he was paying for parking on this day.
I'm kind of mad because I paid the meter like at least 3 times today, so they must have just got me.
They may crack down for a short period of time, but I'm sure a year from now, 6 months from now, we're going to see the same issue.
What I want to do is I want to take it off of their car and put it on mine. Yeah, I want one of those vests. I'm just being honest.
City officials tell us they collected $4 million in parking revenue from construction companies in 2016 and more than $4 million so far this year. A spokesperson for Laz Parking, which manages the privatized meters in Chicago, declined to comment on this report. We see some of these vests in cars right outside our front window.